tonight on Regional News Live.
Some stories we're working on for you. A possible verdict in the Abner-Louima police brutality trial. And on the 55th anniversary of D-Day, we went back to the beaches of Normandy. We'll hear one veteran's story in the second installment of our series. All of these stories and more in the latest on the heat wave coming your way tonight. Good evening and welcome to Valley News Live. I'm Anne Marie O'Keefe. Topping our news tonight, a jury in Brooklyn has reached a verdict in the case of 4 police officers charged with the station house torture of Abner Louima. After 3 days of deliberations, the verdict came in a short time ago. For the latest now, we go live to RNN's Brandon Kinley at the federal courthouse in Brooklyn, New York.
Well, Anne Marie, 4 NYP police officers entered the courthouse today in Brooklyn. 3 left acquitted of all charges. The only one found guilty, Officer Charles Schwartz. The jury obviously believing that Mr. Schwartz aided 27-year-old Justin Volpe while he sodomized Haitian immigrant Abner Louima in the bathroom of the 70th precinct. Mr. Louima held a press conference just a few moments ago with his reaction to the verdict.
Well, I'm disappointed. The verdict was not everything that I want it to be. I am confident that in the end, complete justice will be done in my case. I hope what comes out of my case is change. What happened to me should not happen to any human being, to my children, or anybody else's children.
Obviously some disappointment right there from that Haitian immigrant. Sergeant Michael Bellomo was one of the officers who was acquitted today. He left the courthouse completely clear of all charges and says he's going to think twice before heading back onto the job.
I'm not even thinking about it right now. At this point, I got to reevaluate if is there a place for me in the police department or do I want to be a part of this police department.
Why do you say that, sir?
After 22 months, I think you can understand what I went through. I did my job that night. They did the best of my ability, and everybody seemed to think I did. I ran around that street. I was all over at every position, on foot, trying to take care of the men, the people out there, and they put me under a microscope. And I wasn't given the opportunity. When I went down to the FBI to come back, they took a statement from me, and that was it. I was arrested 3 months later.
Now, once again, said Sergeant Michael Bellomo, he was accused of trying to cover up this crime at the 70th precinct right here in Brooklyn. We're going to continue to try and bring you the latest, try and track down some jury members to see why they decided the way that they did. Until then, we are live in Brooklyn this evening. I'm Brandon Kinley, Regional News Network. Back to you, Anne Marie.
All right, Brandon, thank you. Our other big story tonight, air conditioners are cranked up to full blast all over the Hudson Valley. This after another day of 90-degree temperatures baked the area. Is there any relief in sight? Let's go live now to RNN's John Patrick, who is in Kingston, New York tonight. John?
Anne Marie, my heart goes out to Brandon Kinley. He's in downtown New York with that suit jacket on. He must be sweltering. And it is sweltering again today with temperatures hovering right around 90 degrees. But our saving grace today is we have the winds blowing. That's also the cause of why it is so hot. Let's take a look here. We'll show you exactly why it is so hot. We have the winds coming down off the Catskills and the Pocono Mountains. That's a compressing wind. As we mentioned yesterday, if you were to take your bicycle pump it a few times, feel the bottom of it, it gets hot. We are at the bottom of the mountains, kind of like the bottom of the bicycle pump. And when those winds compress down off the mountains, that's why it is so hot. So our best advice to you here as we have these 90-degree temperatures is to, of course, drink plenty of fluids. Avoid overexertion. Stay cool and stay in the shade. Relief is on the way as we have a cold front draping through the upper portion of New York State and will make its way through the Hudson Valley a little bit later on this evening. We'll talk about that and have the latest from AccuWeather coming up in about 10 minutes. Anne Marie, for the time being, John Patrick live outside our studios, Regional News Network.
Try to stay cool, John. Thank you. Well, the scorching temperatures have Hudson Valley residents searching for relief. For some, it's installing air conditioning. For others, an old-fashioned popsicle is doing the trick.
Thank God for air conditioning.
With temperatures rising into the 90s, Hudson Valley residents are seeking relief from the heat. Lowe's Air Conditioning in Kingston is receiving about 40 more calls a day than usual. Those in the business say if you want to save money, you better think ahead.
Just to think about it in the spring, March or April, if you're going to plan on it for next year before the season starts.
If the hot temperatures have you melting, just think what Mike Antanasio goes through. He works in a boiler room for a living.
And everybody's, they're hot, and I'm the one that sweats.
An alternative to the air conditioner, the swimming pool. For others, just being out of a stuffy building does the trick.
You got the stress, the heat, the teachers, pressure cooker.
This tennis court reached 120 degrees. Hopefully, the people did not.
It's good. Why not sweat a little? It's good for you. Clean support.
If sweating isn't your thing, join the hundreds of others investing in fans to keep cool. But watch out for prices that go up, along with the temperature this time of year. There's nothing hotter on a day like today than a torch run, especially when it's 45 miles long. But dozens of dedicated police officers in Rockland County say they're running for a great cause. The annual torch run for Special Olympics started just after 9 this morning. Cops ran from Rockland State Park, clear to Newburgh in an all-day relay.
Yeah, I think we picked the hottest day this year. Past years, this I think around our 9th or 10th year, and this is by far the hottest day. But doesn't matter. That's nothing compared to what the kids who we're running for have to go through, so this is nothing.
New York has the largest chapter of Special Olympics in the United States. Each year, more than 40,000 kids with developmental disabilities learn to train and compete in sporting events. In other news now, state police are searching for an armed man who robbed a local bank. The suspect got away with approximately $120,000 from the Fleet Bank on Route 28 in Olive. Police say the man entered the bank disguised in an old man mask at 11:45 yesterday morning. No one was injured during the holdup. Witnesses say the man came out of the woods wearing the mask and reportedly disappeared the same way. State troopers set up roadblocks around the area. If you have any information about the robbery, please call state police. A 19-month-old baby is in intensive care tonight after falling 3 stories from a Poughkeepsie apartment. Police say Reginald Dubois Jr. apparently stepped onto a chair on the balcony of his mother's apartment and fell 27 feet to the pavement yesterday afternoon. He was flown to Westchester Medical Center, where he remains tonight. Police and Child Protective Services are investigating. Overseas now, they're resuming high-level military talks in Macedonia. NATO and Yugoslav military commanders have arrived to try again to iron out details of the Serb troop withdrawal from Kosovo. The 7 industrial democracies and Russia have now agreed on a peacekeeping plan. Coming up next on Valley News Live, a new ad campaign critical of the stiff Rockefeller drug laws is being launched. We'll have the details. Plus, if you drink and drive, you could lose your license forever. We'll explain when we return. Stay with us.
RNN News is brought to you by Tri-State Jeep. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep dealer.
Lest We Forget is brought to you in part by American Airlines.
This is your brain. This is heroin. This is what happens to your brain after snorting heroin. And this is what your body goes through. It's not over yet. This is what your family goes through. And your friends and your money. And your job and your self-respect and your future. Any questions?
This is RNN, your regional news network. Valley News Live is back.
The state Senate has passed another proposal aimed at keeping state roads free from drunk drivers. Under the proposal, drivers whose blood alcohol count measures 0.20% or higher will be prohibited from operating a motor vehicle. The offense will be considered aggravated driving while intoxicated. The bill now heads to the Assembly. More than half a century ago, U.S. troops stormed the shores of Normandy, France, hoping to save the world. RNN took 6 D-Day veterans from our region back to the beaches of Normandy for the 55th anniversary of D-Day. Roland Hartman was one of those men. He landed on Omaha Beach as a member of the 1st Division, the Big Red One. The memories are still vivid. And that's only the beginning of his story. Hear the rest of Roland Hartman's story tonight on Regional News Live starting at 7 o'clock in our special report, Lest We Forget. And coming up on Valley News Live, John Patrick will be back here with your Hudson Valley forecast. He'll have the latest on this hot weather to hit the valley. John?
And Marie, it looks like a little reprieve is on the way. Temperatures in the 70s tomorrow as opposed to the 90s. That's some good news. We'll tell you all about it with the latest from AccuWeather next.
Lest We Forget is brought to you in part by Poughkeepsie Ford and the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum in New York City.
At Poughkeepsie Ford, we keep it simple. We let our customers do our talking.
We were very pleased at how much Poughkeepsie Ford gave us for our trade-in.
Poughkeepsie Ford took care of all the details, including the financing.
I've been having my car serviced here at Poughkeepsie Ford for over 5 years. My wife and I are very happy with the service.
I'm on my 3rd lease with Poughkeepsie Ford. I'm sure they have saved me thousands.
Poughkeepsie Ford, delivering value and building relationships, one customer at a time.
Celebrate Father's Day, June 20th aboard the awe-inspiring flight deck of Intrepid. Join RNN at the Intrepid Sea Airspace Museum for the Father's Day Flight Deck Olympics. Families compete for prizes from the Sports Authority, and everyone gets a free Intrepid glider courtesy of Coca-Cola.
30 years ago, Pete Seeger and a whole lot of friends built a boat and began to sing a river clean. On Father's Day weekend, June 19th and 20th, Clearwater's great Hudson River Revival is celebrating with music on 6 solar-powered stages, plus swimming, dancing, storytelling, nature programs, crafts, and boats. Down by the riverside, Croton Point Park, Croton-on-Hudson, New York. Clearwater's great Hudson River Revival.
There's a lot going on when you're getting in, but don't forget the basics. You kids are safest buckled in the back seat.
Set a good example and buckle up, New York.
It's one of the things we do for love. Yay!
June 6th marked the 55th anniversary of D-Day and the turning point of World War II. RNN wants to honor the men and women who put their lives on the line to help save the world. We took 6 veterans from our region back to the beaches of Normandy, France. Now we want to share their stories with you. Roland Smith will broadcast live from the deck of the USS Intrepid. Join us for a special tribute, Lest We Forget, RNN Remembers, on Monday, June 14th at 8 p.m.
Many people believe the stiff Rockefeller drug laws have been a bust. And there's a new ad campaign being launched to promote changing them. Sistine Lizon has that story.
The TV ad blitz promoting a reform of the Rockefeller drug laws, which give judges no discretion in handing down sentences, starts Wednesday, and that's none too soon for people like Florence Patterson, whose 40-year-old son Paul is serving 15 years to life for possessing about 6 ounces of cocaine.
He is not a dealer. He never was. And unfortunately, none of this was looked into his case. And I think that's, you know, we really need to look at who we're locking up and what it's all about.
Terrence Murphy is the father of a mentally ill man. He says the laws don't consider mental illness.
My eldest son, Terrence, is 38 years old, and he's in the 11th year of a 15 to life sentence. But he's there because he's mentally ill, and the law does not have any way to treat his illness, which is a borderline psychosis.
Governor Pataki's interested in changing the laws, but Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver says Pataki's measure doesn't go far enough. One thing both sides agree on, the Rockefeller drug laws as they stand now just aren't working. How that will be resolved continues to be a work in progress. In Albany, Sistine Lizon, Regional News Network.
Well, it's, Tuesday afternoon, and it is 90 degrees yet again, but the good news is this little miniature heat wave that we have going on here is about to end. But for the meantime, let's take a look at what's going on outside at the RNN weather station, Stewart Airport in Newburgh. It is 90 degrees. One of the saving graces is the humidity is down in the 30% range, 35% to be exact. The barometer is on the way down, and our winds are blowing out of the west. That's why we have the heat that we do have, as we showed you before. They're coming down off the Catskills and the Poconos and heating when they get down to this surface level. So that's why we have the heating of the day, that compressing air. Let's take a look at our regional sky scan, and we'll show you that, unlike yesterday at this time, there are no rain showers in the tri-state area. Some good news there as we put the regional sky scan into motion. You'll see that we have the clouds off to our northeast, and that's where the showers will stay as well. And that is the scenario over the next 24 to 36 hours. And that's certainly some good news. And also some good news is, see where those clouds are? Well, there's a cold front right there as well. And we have definitely cooler temperatures on the way. But weather watchers in the meantime, Shokan 93, Newburgh 92 this afternoon. Stephen Saltzman calling that one in. South Fallsburg hit 87. Cornwall hit 90, as did Millerton, New York, earlier this afternoon. A little bit farther to the south, White Plains hit 92, 95 sticky degrees today at Mount Vernon, New York. Let's take a look at your 3D storm scope, and we'll show you the cold front that's going to be dropping through. There it is off to our northwest. Cooler, drier air to the northwest of that. But showers and thunderstorms still for the folks in Florida. They've gotten a lot of rain down there. It's been one of the wettest Junes on record so far down there. We, in the meantime, remain in the clear as we take a look at your Hudson Valley forecast. Tonight, we do have the heat and the humidity sticking around for a couple of hours, but temperatures getting down quite comfortably to around 60 degrees under a clear sky. Tomorrow, we get you into the upper 70s with some sun to start, increasing clouds during the day. On the surface map, watch the cold front that's now in upstate New York and in northern New England drop southward over the next 24 to 36 hours. And during the day tomorrow, there it goes on down south. And that spells cooler, drier air for us, as reflected in your 5-day forecast. Tomorrow, as we mentioned, nice day. Increasing clouds and temperatures in the upper 70s. We'll copy that into Thursday, 77 the high, 83 on Friday. Saturday and Sunday looking good. Sunshine both days with a high of 85. Anne Marie, there's the latest from AccuWeather. Saving grace today, definitely the wind not as oppressive today as it was yesterday.
A little bit better. Okay, John, thank you. Coming up on Valley News Live in News for Your Health, there's good news for coffee drinkers tonight. We'll tell you why. And in sports, the Knicks and Pacers are headed back to Indiana all tied up. Michael Burke has a Game 4 recap when Valley News Live continues.
This is an RNN Community Calendar.
The Hudson Valley chapter of JDF invites you to their Strawberry Moonball at Casper Kill Country Club. A highlight will be RNN's presentation of the first Regional Hero Award to New York State Trooper Lance Aguiar. Call 914-567-0188. If you've ever been curious about the island in the Hudson River between Storm King Mountain and Cold Spring, there's a tour of it and its castle ruins on June 19th. Call 914-831-6346.
This Hudson Valley Community Calendar is brought to you by Rage Hair Salon.
Hi, this is Justin Resnick of Resnick's Mattress Outlet asking, is your nasty old mattress going downhill? Then why not give your back a lift? And don't forget, we beat the price on any Sealy, Serta, Spring Air, or Stearns & Foster mattress with any Resnick's Mattress Outlet set.
Hudson on Route 9 next to the movies. Kingston, our new store on Route 9W. East Greenbush, the intersections of Route 4 and 20, and 8 stores in the Albany area.
Since the shooting of Amadou Diallo by 4 NYC officers on February 4th of this year, the attention of New Yorkers has been riveted on this prominent case. Only RNN has gone to court for the rights of New York citizens to see this trial as it unfolds in the courtroom. RNN, the only station in New York fighting for cameras in the courtroom. Justice, if it's on your mind, it's on RNN.
Galati Pools and Spas, the area's largest selection of hot spring spas. The best choice for relaxation. Galati Pools provides a full display of top-of-the-line hot spring spas, experienced professionals, and products you can trust. 7 days a week, Galati ensures only enjoyment and relaxation from your experience with us. Buy now during our Father's Day sale, June 10th through the 20th. For a special $1,000 discount, bring your dad in on June 20th. Or soak your daddy day. Galati Pools and Spas, Newburgh, New York.
Your health is brought to you by Galati Pools and Spas.
Health news now. Injections of poison could help children with cerebral palsy regain the use of their legs. Researchers in Canada and the United States are using small doses of botulism toxin, a potent poison that can kill. Studies in animals have shown that the Botox paralyzes muscles, allowing them to stretch and grow. Researchers are studying Botox to discover if treatments can eliminate the need for surgery. So far, 70 to 80% of parents report good to excellent results. Botox is also sometimes used as an injection to eliminate facial wrinkles. Some good news for coffee drinkers. A new study says men who drink several cups of coffee a day could reduce their risk for gallstones. Harvard researchers speculate caffeine may reduce the amount of cholesterol in the gallbladder and keep gallstones from forming. More than 46,000 middle-aged and older men participated in the study. Those who consumed 4 cups a day over a period of 5 years reduced their risk of gallstones by 45%. More research is needed to determine what components of caffeinated coffee did the trick.
Good evening, I'm Michael Burke, and we start with basketball and the Knicks, who, for whatever the reason, came out flat for Game 4 last night in losing 90-78. Latrell Sprewell started in place of Kurt Thomas and did nothing to distinguish himself, fouling out after scoring 12 points on 6 of 14 shooting. Defensively, the matchup with Chris Mullin, a mismatch. The former St. John star had a breakout game, scoring 18 points. Off the Pacer bench, Jalen Rose provided the spark, scoring 19, as Indiana, which lost Rick Smits and Reggie Miller to very early foul trouble, has tied this best-of-7 at 2 games apiece.
They were much more aggressive, and they wanted this game more than we did. Once we couldn't get into any kind of flow offensively and defensively, it just made it more difficult for us, and they carried on for 48 minutes.
They wasn't going to go down without a fight, and they came out and they just executed better than we did and played with better intensity, and it showed.
Yes, it certainly did. Well, Game 5 back in Indiana on Wednesday. Well, the move to start Latrell Sprewell, a win-win for Jeff Van Gundy as far as I'm concerned. Catch lightning in a bottle and win, Van Gundy is a genius. Get the performance you did in the loss. Latrell can't say a word about not starting, and the coach's premise of Spree being better off the bench is proven, at least for the moment. Here's what Chris Childs had to say after being asked if the second unit missed Spree's spark.
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, we can make any excuse we want. It doesn't matter. Coming off the bench starting, it doesn't matter. We have to go out and play regardless of what the lineup is.
And to make matters worse, the league has fined Larry Johnson and the Knicks $10,000 each as LJ twice failed to make himself available to the media. Governor Pataki has made a friendly wager with Texas Governor George W. Bush. Pataki will put up 100 of the hottest buffalo wings, courtesy of Charlie the Butcher's in Buffalo. Governor Bush's wager, brisket and barbecue ribs. The Stanley Cup Finals begin tonight in Dallas with the Stars hosting the Sabres. And Benny Agbayani of the Mets continues to swing the hottest bat in the majors. And he credits a Hawaiian Warrior hat given to him by his aunt. Last night at Shea in the 5th inning, Agbayani strokes his 8th home run since his mid-May call-up. This after hitting his 7th in the 4th inning. The outfielder now batting a torrid .429. Mets won their second straight 8-2 over the Blue Jays. The two teams will do it again tonight. And that's what's happening. I'm Michael Burke. So, Anne-Marie, it's back to Indianapolis. We're all tied at 2.
All right, start over again in a sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, thanks, Michael. Coming up in Valley News Live, Mr. Food will have the recipe for a delicious fish dish. Stay tuned.
Okay, higher this time.
Or you could be driving one of these. A new Honda from Friendly Honda. No pressure sales, guaranteed lowest prices, and great service even after the sale. Now that's what we call love.
Much better.
Come see Friendly Honda in Poughkeepsie and drive home happy today.
Hey, Mr. Internet Wonder Boy.
What?
Over here, over here.
You think you got it all, don't you? Well, but there's just a tiny little voice inside saying there's got to be something new, something that makes you want to stand up and say,
Yeah, baby, this is what I need.
yeah. Here it is. New Pepsi One. Massive cola taste, only 1 calorie. It's got it all. And you know what it's saying to you, don't you? No. Put down your mouse and curl up with me, baby, because I'm all you ever need. I want that.
You want that?
I want that.
He wants that. Now you got it all, baby.
All the taste, 1 calorie. Only one has it all.
CSEA's strength is in the values and commitment of our members. We work hard to give New Yorkers the best services. A better New York is our only priority. CSEA members actually do the work, and we get the job done. When budgets were tight, we worked harder with less help and little reward. Now with the governor and other politicians taking credit for better times, CSEA members have earned a fair share. In budgets and bargaining, CSEA families deserve fairness and respect.
This week at Grand Union, bring home the cookout with big savings on a lot of your favorite items, like these Grand Union specials.
This week, save on USDA Choice Boneless Shouldered London Broil, just 99 cents a pound. Super Sweet Yellow Corn, 10 ears for only 99 cents. Whole watermelons, your choice of regular or seedless, just $2.99 each. And buy one sweet cantaloupe at the regular low price and get one free.
Bring home the savings. Bring home Grand Union. Ooh, it's so good.
Mr. Food is brought to you by your local Grand Union.
If you think only fancy restaurants made blackened dishes, think again. Tonight, Mr. Food has a recipe for blackened fish.
Years ago, if we sat down to a meal where the food was all black looking, we'd think it was overcooked or even burned. Well, not today. Blackened dishes are on the trendiest restaurants' menus. And watch how easily we can do the same thing right on our grill. Yeah, in a small bowl, we mix together well 2 tablespoons of paprika, a teaspoon of crushed thyme, a half teaspoon each of onion powder, garlic powder, sugar, salt, and pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground red pepper. Now, we rub the mixture evenly over both sides of 4 halibut steaks, and we place the fish on a medium-high grill, and we cook it maybe 8 minutes on each side until it flakes easily with a fork. And what do you know? Blackened fish. Now, no, not exactly the Cajun way, but the seasonings produce that exciting crunchy crust and zesty flavor. Works on steaks or chicken, too. And served up with some hot off-the-grill corn on the cob and garlic bread, it's fancy style, but easy grilling. And if you'd like the recipe, sure, just send a self-addressed stamped envelope marked blackened fish to me, Mr. Food. Send it back to the station. We'll get it back to you for amazing them that we can turn out their trendiest favorites. And did we go to cooking school to pull this one off? All it took was the right mix of the ooh, it's so good.
And there are more regional headlines coming up on RNN. Thanks for joining us at Valley News Live, everyone. Have a great night.